The Pentagon is denying allegations that US personnel witnessed or were complicit in torture in Yemeni secret prisons, overseen by its ally, the United Arab Emirates. The investigation by the AP news agency uncovered some gruesome details.
Initially, prisoners were held in shipping containers, which were smeared with excrement. Each container held up to 50 men, who were blindfolded, shackled, and sometimes forced to relieve themselves in corners after guards shut the door for the day.
We could hear the screams. The entire place is gripped by fear. Almost everyone is sick. The rest are near death. Anyone who complains heads directly to the torture chamber.
Reports highlighting torture and scandalous practices. The Associated Press and human rights groups say that prisons in Yemen, operated by the United Arab Emirates, a longtime U.S. ally, have been run in total degradation, and that U.S. military personnel may have been involved with or even witnessed the torture. But the United States Department of Defense has fired back with its own report saying, nope, we found nothing.
The Department of Defense has not developed any independent, credible information indicating that U.S. allies or partners have abused detainees in Yemen.
Now, the key word is independent. They basically just ignored reports that painted horrific pictures of the facilities. On top of the human rights group, we've also gotten acknowledgement of the problem from the United Nations.
Investigations by the group of experts confirm widespread arbitrary detention throughout the country and ill treatment and torture in some facilities. In most cases, detainees were not informed of the reasons for their arrest, were not charged, and were denied access to lawyers or a judge.
There is some kind of medical experimentation going on in these detention centers, which is connected with psychological domination, torture of people, to see how far they can go. Both the US and Britain and other international community members have openly admitted that they are providing intelligence and logistics to the Saudi-led coalitions. Basically, military advice. I believe they're turning a blind eye to it because they may well be the ones who are advising the carrying out or the doing of things in this particular way.
Now, the United Arab Emirates says that these prisons are operated by Yemenis. They've got nothing to do with it. And the Department of Defense is echoing their statement that it's all a big facade. They've found nothing. However, if you look at congressional reports, they indicate that U.S. personnel have been involved in interrogations.
U.S. forces do not conduct detention operations in Yemen. Rather, U.S. forces conduct intelligence interrogations of detainees held in partner custody.
But the Department of Defense is sticking to its story, saying, we know nothing. And I guess the world just has to decide who it wants to believe. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
The policy director at the Just Foreign Policy Campaign Organization believes the Pentagon has always been insincere about U.S. activities in Yemen.
Pentagon has been lying for years about what the U.S. is doing in Yemen, claimed that it wasn't supporting the Saudi war with direct military assistance, with refueling, claimed that it was doing something to reduce the Saudi bombing of civilians, which clearly it wasn't. So there's a long track record of lies, and I fear that at this point, the only thing that Congress can do that would substantially change the situation is cut off military support for the Saudi-UAE war, which is deeply entangled in the abuses that we see.